Welcome back to the channel. Let's cap off the week with some awesome games for low prices, with a bunch of games that can be had for $5 or less on the Nintendo Switch eShop. So you best make sure to hang on and subscribe to the channel, as there's lots of fantastic gaming that awaits you without breaking the bank. A indie classic, Velocity 2X, can be had at a brand new low price of $2.99 until July 27th. I love the blend of two gameplay styles. Part of the game is a shooter, another part is an action platformer. Regardless, both sides of the game will have you testing your reflexes as you shoot and dodge with its unique control system to not only survive, but get those high scores. The Switch version comes with a daily sprint pack that has daily missions and challenges with online leaderboards, in addition to the dual core and critical urgency packs that add an additional 16 levels on top of the main game. At $3, it's got a lot of value. It's a good deal to experience this indie gem. Figment is an action-adventure game that has you exploring a human mind. Affected by thoughts, emotions, and memories, it's a place that was rather calm, but it's now thrown into chaos. In this game, you need to join Dusty and Piper as they set off to calm the mind by fending off evil creatures and solving puzzles as they explore every side of this human's brain. It's a trippy concept, but it's so full of charm, and I love the interactions with the duo. It features a lot of excellent voice acting too, and great sound design, and some beautiful hand-drawn visuals. For $1.99, it's at a beautiful price to own this beautiful game. Hotshot Racing, a tribute to 90s 3D arcade racing games, is also one of the best racing games on the Switch. Featuring plenty of racing circuits to dive into, plenty of cars and drivers to race as, it has lots of modes to play in addition to the classic racing. It is packed with a healthy amount of content. Oh, and yes, there's online and local wireless play with up to 8 other people and up to 4 on a single Switch system. At $2.99, it's one of Switch's best deals, and one deal all racing fans need to capitalize on if they don't yet own this game. Looking for an arcade-style beat-em-up game for cheap? Consider getting the TakeOver. It's inspired by those 90s classics, with multiple characters to play as, and plenty of dudes to punch in the face. There's a local co-op play too, just like any good beat-em-up game should have. I really like the graphics in this one. It reminds me of 90s comic books. It's $2.99 until July 13th. Do you love run and gun games? Do you love Contra? Then if you haven't yet played Super Cyborg, then you need to get this game. It plays very much in that style, with the controls, the types of stages you play in, and of course those crazy huge bosses. There's a lot of action in this one, a lot of great gameplay. Unlike a lot of other inspired Contra games, this one is a Contra clone done very right. It's amazing. It's a no-brainer for any fan of the genre. The original rhythmic dungeon crawler, Crypt of the NecroDancer, is on Switch for just a few bucks. In this game, you have to navigate procedurally generated dungeons while fending off enemies and completing actions, all in tune to the music. It will take you a little bit to get the hang of things, but once you do, it's an addicting experience. For $3.99, it's definitely worth picking up at that price. One of my favorite Sega Saturn games can also be found on the Switch via a remake. Panzer Dragoon Remake is a 3D rail shooter that has you riding a dragon, and shooting and fending off enemies from all sides. It features some awesome music, and honestly, I love the revamped 3D graphics. I think it does the original game justice. At $2.49, I can give this one a hearty recommend. For that price, it's a no-brainer. Just in time for the sequel to come out, OXENFREE is back on sale at its low price of just $1.99 until July 20th. This thrilling adventure game has you playing as a character called Alex as he explores an old military island and somehow opens a ghostly gate. Seems like a basis for a horror movie, am I right? What's neat about this game though is the story and your relationships with the characters all change depending on your decisions. So your playthrough could end up being entirely different from another's. This opens up a lot of replayability for this creepy game. This game got a lot of positive press, lots of good reviews, so if you're curious about it and want to know why so many are hyped up for the sequel, consider throwing down 2 bones and checking out this game at this deal of a price. OkunoKA is a platformer that has you running and jumping through 100+ levels while taking on insane bosses and finding secrets and unlockables. It's super challenging, but it's one of the best 2D platformers on the system. 2D platformers on the system. If you like games like Super Meat Boy and not afraid of the difficulty, then you will love this game. It's just $1.99 until July 14th. Previously delisted, Forgotton Anne is back on the eShop, and it has received a heck of a discount, knocking it down to just $3.99 until July 14th. Part platformer, part adventure game. The game features some flawless animation and movements for the character, as well as a deep branching dialogue system where your actions in the game can affect the game's outcome and the many branching paths. It's a good game, and I'm glad we got a second chance at owning it, with a heck of a discount to boot. Dive into a living comic book in Fury Unleashed. It's a heck of a run and gun game that has you blasting through enemies and bosses left and right. I love the graphics, I love the gameplay, and this game even has co-op play, both local and online, so make sure to grab a friend to play with this one. Just $3.99 via the latest eShop sale. That is the lowest price it's ever been. Inspired by the 32-bit era of gaming, Lunistice is a 3D platformer that has you controlling a tanuki while guiding her through each stage as fast as you can, as well as collecting the many collectibles in each level and taking on various enemies and obstacles. Make sure to check out the demo on the eShop, and I think this might be a bit of a hidden gem. I love the gameplay in this one. It's not a big discount, but for just $3.99, I think it's a must-get at that price for those who loved platformers from the 32-bit era. The BIT.TRIP games are some of my favorite indie games ever made. They are simple in concept, but addictive, all about chasing the high score. One game is a shooter, another is a runner platformer, another one is even a bit of a rhythm game. There's 6 titles in all, and you can nab every game in a single collection for dirt cheap. The BIT.TRIP collection is on sale at its lowest price ever of $2.95 until July 18th. Crypt Blaster is a neat horizontal shoot 'em up, featuring lots of silliness and funny moments with the alien encounters. It has 10 stages to blast through with some solid shooting action, and for $2 it's worth it. It's $1.99 until July 13th. Finally, if you're a fan of shoot 'em ups, particularly the ones from the Japanese publisher Psikyo, then you're in for a treat with this latest sale. A bunch of the following shooters can be had for just under $5 each. There's the amazing GUNBIRD game and its fantastic sequel that can be had for $4.79 each. Then there's Strikers 1945 and its sequel, also going for the same price. Dragon Blaze, another fantastic shooter, might be my favorite one from Psikyo. This one can be had for just under $5 too. Then there's Samurai Aces and Tengai, more amazing shooters from them. And finally, there's stuff like Soul Divide, Sword of Darkness, which is a shooter I haven't played before to be honest, and Zero Gunner 2, a game that was rebuilt for the Switch. Oh, and how can I forget, there's GUNBIRD, or GUNBIRD, I think that's how you pronounce it, a neat twist on the classic Arkanoid gameplay. A nice break from all these shooters. At $4.79 each, that's a pretty good deal, especially if you want to grab all 10 titles, the whole collection, for well under $50 via this sale. Speaking of shooters, if you haven't yet checked out my review of Ray's Arcade Chronology from last week, then make sure to do so. It's one of the best collections featuring shoot 'em ups on the Switch. You definitely do not want to miss that video. There you go, that's this week's eShop deals. Lots of fun that can be had for low prices on your Switch. If you appreciate this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to stay up to date with all the latest videos each and every week from this channel. Let me know in the comments down below what games you plan on picking up and playing this weekend. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. You are awesome. That's all from me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.